graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
He is a comic book nerd.
In brightest day and darkest night. We can learn a lot from comics.
She is a reality TV junkie.
No idea.
Snooki had her baby. A dollar makes me holla.
Chris likes sci-fi.
They do a brain transplant into this whole new body, but it's you.
Kristen likes celebrity gossip.
Breaking news.
Oh, more breaking
news?
news?
Official. Official. Before it was just a rumor. Hey, Stu, our Pats moved back in together.
What do they have in common? Nothing. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Now, here's Chris and Kristen.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristen. Can't get rid of us. We are back.
Podcasting's like riding a bike.
Yes.
Well, if that was the case, we would have fallen, hit our
Ew.
face. We were both like, wait, what goes... We were like, what? That goes where? What
Yeah,
goes...
I didn't have like things plugged in. I was
Things
like, I
weren't
can't
plugged
hear
in.
anything.
It took me a while to... Wondering why things aren't working. But let me tell you, when we finish an episode, or after I record an episode... And you know, I get it ready to put out, but I go through like a post-podcast depression. Like, I think it's a
like
new
a
medical term. I'm
term? Yeah.
Post-podcast.
Like suddenly your depression's over, you set it up.
Excitement, and then when
it's
over,
sorry, Chris.
The door
I am
closes.
so sorry.
it's not your fault. I mean, unless you want to sit here and record
Just do it all day, every
You're
day.
just going to sit and podcast the life.
You just never shut up.
life of podcast.
Like the Truman Show.
Last night I read some breaking news and it was confirmed today.
Breaking news.
Do you have any idea?
We here, Two Strangers, One Podcast, always bring you the up-to-date breaking news.
What is the breaking news?
The two worst people in the world are spawning a baby.
The two worst people in the world are spawning a baby, and seeing people who listen to this show, anyone is a fan, and we honestly have not discussed this.
I know, I'm surprised you didn't say anything, so I don't think you know.
I'm going to say KW and KK?
Yep.
KKK?
It's been confirmed. They are preggo. Kim Ye is preggo.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Oh, right.
But she ain't messing with no broke nigga.
I mean, this babe, I don't know. I'm not happy about it.
Isn't Kim Kardashian like the quintessential gold digger?
Absolutely. And she's still legally married to the other guy.
Oh, Chris
That
Humphries.
still hasn't been finalized.
No, they're
so
divorced.
So I think she's just skipping over the marriage part at this point and is just like, I'm going straight for the baby.
Wow.
And she still has, I guess, contracts with Vegas for New Year's Eve and stuff to go to the clubs to appear. So she's going there pregnant.
But but she didn't do anything anyway.
Right. She only stood in the corner.
So
Get ready for that, baby. Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
We had that episode a while back, Super Babies, you know.
We are...
there's going to be a whole new generation of Super Babies between, you know,
Beyonce
and Jay-Z, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Now Kim Kardashian and
What do you think they're going to name
West.
that baby? Kim Ye? They would. They'd name it Kim Ye, I think.
The kid's
Or
going to have
Kanye.
an exotic name.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Locomotion or something.
Yeah.
Acapulco.
Yeah.
Just because that's where the baby was conceived, so Cabo.
It's Swahili for,
For fun.
you know, he who runs during the day or some shit like that.
And it just, because the other day, I guess Kanye was in Atlantic City. Did you see what he wore? Not a skirt. I guess he topped the skirt.
Because he's not wearing a kilt anymore.
The kilt, the leather kilt, whatever you want to call it. He wore like this, he was all in white, and then his face was covered with this bejeweled mask. I mean, it was just like a big mask of jewels.
Oh, okay. Because when you say mask, automatically I jump.
Not like it was just
Michael
like a
Jackson
hood.
used to wear that.
No, it was like a hood.
Surgical mask.
Yeah.
Okay, a hood.
No, like it covered his whole head and face.
Okay, and just
Of
playing
jewels.
devil's advocate here, how do they know it's Kanye West if he's wearing a mask?
I think later he took it off and he had
Okay.
some other costume that I didn't
I'm
even look
pretty sure
into
his
because I just
people
hated
call
it.
the paparazzi.
Yeah, they're like,
He seems the type.
We
that-
gotta get you here.
He doesn't call the paparazzi. His people drop that little like nugget, like he's
yeah.
going to be at such.
Because how would they
place.
conveniently always at every restaurant? It was at Atlantic City.
Oh, in Atlantic City. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So
So you have whatever performance there.
Mr. I hear Kanye West is gonna
wear a bejeweled hood.
Everybody wins because I'm pretty sure the paparazzi throw that guy a couple bucks because
Oh,
they
yeah.
sell the pictures.
Because they sell the pictures.
And then, it's free publicity for Mr. West, to get his picture in Us Magazine and stuff like that. It
good for
helps.
them.
No such thing as bad press. Just remember that when I'm on a clock tower.
Yeah. No
And
such
people
thing.
go back to listen to this episode.
Here we go. People are going to call the cops.
The red
on us.
flags were
One of these
there.
days.
The red flags were there.
flags were there.
Wow. So the ending of 213, the ending of 213.
We
The
didn't
ending
think
of
we'd get here.
2012
Yes.
gives us.
The Doomsday Preppers didn't think we'd make it, and we did.
We did. We did.
Wah, wah. I hope that show, they filmed them on that day. Because I just want to see them being like, wait for it.
That would have been a great
Wait for it.
simulcast live.
Yeah. And they're going to be like, well, we meant 2022. We got it, or 2021. We mixed up the 2 and the 1, like something random.
Well, when you
It's always like,
when you
we
say the century,
miscalculated.
it's really a year off. So really, it's
Yeah.
next
Oh, yeah.
year.
Just like that other day
2012.
with the Rapture or whatever.
Yeah.
That other guy.
And that's the rapture. I always
I
forget the word. I always
miscalculated.
forget the name of that phrase. The rapture. Yeah.
Give it another year, guys. We're done. We're done. They're probably just living on the edge now because they don't know when it's going to happen.
Brings you a live event from the bunkers from all 7 continents.
I hope they're still just living under there.
Doomsday 2013. I was watching on that day, on the 21st. It was Jesse Ventura,
What?
the ex-Minnesota
The big guy,
governor,
yeah.
ex-WWF wrestler, Navy SEAL. I forgot what other credits he has, but he was a Navy SEAL and the governor of Minnesota, and it was a whole... apparently, there is a huge bunker under the airport, under an airport in Colorado.
Okay.
Filled
with weed.
Well,
That's where it's made.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's... Now, they acknowledge that there is some sort of bunker, but he was like, oh no, that's just the front. It's a lot bigger and deeper. Apparently,
What's it
it's like
for,
this
in
whole
case-
city underground, because that's the place where all, like, very rich people and celebrities are going to go. Because it's in Colorado.
Oh.
It's up in the air.
We gotta become celebrities so we get in there,
I gotta
Chris.
get my name on the list.
That freaking Kimye baby's gonna beat us in there.
Sorry,
Jeez. Blue Ivy Carter, Ivy Blue, whatever it is, is gonna
Blue
beat us in
Ivy.
there. We can't even get in there.
Oh boy! And
So what is it's just all the celebrities live if something happens?
There's a
Well, that's bullshit.
And even when he was driving around, I mean, this may be a real thing.
He was
It
driving
No,
underground
he's
or
driving around because what
around
happens
the bunker?
is this airport doesn't have anything around it.
Okay.
Like, the people who own the airport own all the land around it.
Okay.
So
there's nothing.
He's driving by, and you see these big concrete, for the lack of a better term, imagine rectangular tubes. I guess it's not a tube, but I mean a long shaft made of...
Chris said shaft.
Long shaft. Made of concrete. Basically, it looks like what would be a tunnel. Like,
Okay.
you have to dig up the ground, put that in there, and that's a tunnel. Like, you could probably, you could probably put a car or a bulldozer. That's the width of it.
Okay.
And it's like almost like a perfect circle, but I mean...
Obviously, you could drive on it.
Yeah,
like
tube, you know what I mean. Like, a rectangular tube, even though I'm...
it's not cylinder.
It's a contradiction in terms, but you know what I mean. So, like, you see a bunch of them lined up out on the dirt, and Jesse Ventura is driving around.
So those are above ground. Those are above ground. They're
it's
not.
Like, I mean,
or half.
It's there as in like it's going to be part of a project that they're going to be working on soon. Tons of contractors going to the place, and it's like, why is there all this construction when the airport is built?
Right. So what is this tunnel? This whole thing for?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Is
There
this
is
for
a tunnel.
Doomsday?
There is a remarked tunnel. It is known that that's like a government
It's a bunker thing.
under an airport, which is very creepy. But Jesse Ventura's claim was that that's just a front. There's something much, much bigger.
Probably nuclear weapons under there.
And then the crazy thing is, when you're in the airport, there's all this. And I know I sound like one of those conspiracy theory nuts, but there's a whole bunch of like Freemason artwork. The Freemasons, the secret brotherhood and everything like that. There's a bunch of stuff on the walls and paintings and stuff like that. I mean, not to say some like whole Da Vinci Code kind of a deal.
Here we
but
go. This is it. I wonder, so what is this bunker used for?
Interesting.
How do we
it is supposed to be for when the shit hits the fan,
All the celebrities got to
The
go to
elite-
Colorado.
the elite are going to go to Colorado.
Okay, so shit hits the fan, now they gotta travel how many hours to get?
Yeah, but the shit's
Are
not
they gonna
really-
make it?
I mean, the shit will hit the fan, but at least there's some sort of option. You know,
They ain't going
I mean, if
anywhere.
the fucking earth cracks, that's one thing. I mean,
Is this for when California breaks
but if it's
off
like a zombie apocalypse, that's another. You know.
Is this for when, like, the California breaks off the United States?
Well, I think, Colorado, I mean, it's not the center of the United States, but, can be reached by any, if you have a jet, you could be reached, it's a 4-hour trip at worst from anywhere in the
That's it.
U.S.
We're going to Colorado, that's it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna buy a little house, I'm gonna build it, I'm gonna buy a little piece of land right next to those little tunnels. I'm gonna build my little hut and be ready.
Yeah, so it was and I was watching it
interesting.
on 12/21/12. It was a great documentary. And the funny thing is take a shot, the funny thing is, when I first started watching it, this is fucking conspiracy bullshit. Like, I watched it like, yeah, okay, you're making a bigger issue than
Yeah.
And then, like, I
Going
got
into
sucked
detail,
in.
yeah. Oh,
it was one of
yeah.
those History Channel
Right.
things.
Where you're just watching and then it's
And
like,
you
you
get
can't.
hypnotizing. These
Like, you
people-
gotta go to the bathroom on the commercial break and you go really quick. And
Yeah,
then you
I
go
would
back.
never say, I'm going to watch this Jesse Ventura special. I would never, look at the program guide.
guide and be like, I
that's what I
gotta
want.
watch
I got
this.
fucking hypnotized into watching it, and it was...
Biggie,
Intriguing.
can't you see? Do you think that's where Tupac and Biggie are?
Yeah.
Right?
and Elvis, and
Then Elvis.
they're where the real Mona Lisa is being kept, and...
Yeah. It's all about that Mona Lisa.
that's why they can't find old Da Vinci evidence on it, because that's just...
We know where it is. It's in Colorado, bitches.
They hired a very good professional to do a very good, accurate reproduction. And that's what's actually sitting in the Louvre. The
Yeah.
real Mona Lisa
It's in Colorado.
10 miles
Underground.
underground under an airport in Colorado.
We know where
You
that
heard it here
shit is.
first, people. And
Oh, what else we
boy.
got? I feel like-
Well, we're recording this on New
Yes!
Year's Eve.
Happy
So
New
by
Year's
the
Eve,
time
everyone. You'll
our
get this on
listeners
New
hear
Year's
this,
Day.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2013.
Have a happy, healthy, safe New Year. 2013.
Make out with everyone at midnight.
We are turning shit up. It's an
Turning
uphill
it up.
battle, but it's definitely going uphill. Keep your ears open
We can only go up from here, right?
for Two Strangers, One Podcast.
We're so low that we have no other option but to go up.
Yeah, and then, like we mentioned in the past episode, we may get a recording space. But
Oh, Chris, it's in the works.
I think,
I
you know what I
know,
think?
I started to pick
here's
some-
my
yeah.
conspiracy. I think
Chris is all these conspiracy.
You don't wanna-
2013 is the year of Chris's conspiracy.
conspiracy. All right. I think it's a bunker. That's what Two Strangers, One Podcast broadcasting. And it is like a basement, right? So
It's not that low.
But it's the
like,
first
yeah,
level?
yeah. Like,
so it's our
because
own.
it used to be a restaurant years ago, but it was kind of like you walk down the stairs and that's kind of underground, but not like fully.
So that's our bunker.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? It's
but-
kind of hard to explain.
because
There is a door to the outside.
well, I'm not going to
It's
give
our
our
bunker.
audience the details, but you don't live exactly close to me. You have to travel
No.
to come to me. So I think you just like, Dad, I'm tired of driving all the way to this asshole's house.
You know what? That's not even what happened. He approached me, and I was like, okay.
I'm tired of.
You know what,
I gotta
Dad? I'm
sit
sick
in
of
this
wasting
fucking
money.
Dirty room, and I got to drive all this way to do a stupid recording.
Absolutely not.
So I think that's
He
the
approached me. I didn't
conspiracy.
even think of that space.
So you know how much money you're going to be saving on
I'm
gas
so
now that you're
excited.
closer to.
We
And
just
so-
put in lights in the ceiling, so we got that going, and pretty soon we're going to start. It's a storage room right now, so we're going to start taking
Okay.
out stuff. There's a bar down there, no liquor, but we
But
could
great
use.
for hosting.
Yeah, I was going to say
know.
great for host. It's a big space, so
And speaking of bars, I celebrated 1 year of sobriety.
congrats.
I know
Speaking of bars,
I always bring it, talking about coming from the Lower East Side and being sober. Those are two things I bring up every fucking episode.
I know it's so
But on the
fucking annoying.
26th, I hit my 1 year anniversary.
Congrats.
I'm very, very proud of myself.
That's
no
hard to do.
alcohol, no drugs. I mean, I am heavily medicated, but at least
No
that's
illegal
prescription.
drugs.
No illegal
There you
drugs
go.
and no alcohol. Not for a
That's,
year. And even then, only I really, really stopped drinking on 11/11/11
Creepy.
because that's when I got in trouble. When you're in
Look up
handcuffs in the
Christopher's
back of
name
a
on
police
Google.
car, you sober up real quick.
So it's
And
been
then-
more than
so
that. More
really
than
11/11.
a year.
But on the 26th last year, I was out with my dad, and I had one beer.
Oh, that doesn't count.
So, but
You didn't go on like a bender.
I'm just
so officially, I guess.
out of
okay.
respect because out of respect for people, they if
That
you drink
struggle.
a beer, that's you reset.
Yeah.
So
Good for you,
I
Chris.
reset on the 26th of December, so I hit my 1 year of sobriety.
A few days ago.
If there's anyone out there that's going through that,
It's
I've
possible.
been to AA meetings and stuff like that. And I don't want to get corny, but it's like, and
So
it's
fucking corny.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm a big fan of Chris Hardwick's podcast, The Nerdist.
I've never heard you even mention his name, Chris.
And
No, I know, you're a
now
big fan.
I'm actually going back and listening to those old episodes. Chris Hardwick, one time in his life, was a hardcore alcoholic. I don't
All
know
those-
because he was partying all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of your lifestyle.
Yeah,
Like, he was a
living
comedian.
the
and
Hollywood lifestyle.
you're just surrounded by it, so it's like either you fight it or you just join it.
Yeah,
And a lot of them join.
and now he has this show where like they've been out.
Probably keeps them sober.
Yeah, they've
the
been
show.
out for 2 years. They have over 250 episodes, or just about 250 episodes. I'm going back to old episodes, listening to like, the incredible guests that he's getting. Like,
Yeah.
when you focus your energy elsewhere,
Right. Keep
it's a-
yourself
it's a
busy. That's the
positive,
main. That's the main thing with struggling alcoholics and. Did something happen there? Oh, struggling alcoholics and all that. You gotta keep yourself busy.
yeah. So
Or else, because once you're bored, you go
I mean,
a whole nother way.
I bring it up a lot because I'm proud of, it's something I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But, I definitely, send out my support for people out there. It can be done. It can be,
That's positive.
and
Like
it
that's
helps
the
you-
key is to keep yourself busy. I mean,
Because this
you know,
podcast keeps me fucking
Absolutely.
busy. Man. It really does.
Find a hobby.
I'm at a different point in my life where I'm taking care of my daughter, but I mean, I'm always within arm's reach to a computer, so I'm always like spamming for the show or trying to line up
yeah,
guests.
people love
and-
us spamming.
And I do want to send out a big thank you to Lisserette Suskaiden Vasquez. She recorded the show the other day. We went over on Skype. I apologize that some parts of the conversation got a little winky because of the
Yeah, no, you said
internet
it
connection.
recorded good.
When
you were recording,
I
it
heard
sounded
her-
good.
I heard her perfectly.
Yeah, and then when
So
you
I
played
don't
it back,
know what happened. I don't know what happened with the actual interview. But I do want to give a huge thank you to
Yes,
Sus
thank
Kaiden.
you.
She was energetic. She was a great guest.
Very
she
nice
was
of you.
entertaining. Being back in New York City and hearing like a girl with that Dominican accent, that is so
Boner.
fucking sexy. And
a lot of blood rush to a certain organ.
and she was so cool and so nice, and she is an incredibly sexy woman. I mean,
Chris is trying to lay
just
it
go
out
visit her
there.
Facebook page. I mean, she puts her own pictures of herself, and she is a sexy, sexy woman. But I didn't want to be all like, I mean, I told
All
her
up
I
in
loved
her-
her a whole bunch of times, but,
You didn't want to be that. Suddenly there's a
I wanted to talk to her
restraining
about
order.
video games. Yeah, we spoke about video games, and it was
Very
a cool conversation. So, for those of you who haven't checked it out, you can go to Crackle.com. It's a site owned by Sony, and there's a bunch. And on Crackle.com, they have their own original series and stuff. There's like a whole bunch of shows. And actually, Chris Pernosky, another guy that's friend of the show, one of the people who want to bring back Megas XLR, he had a show called Issues, and it's an animated show about superheroes going
And
to
their
therapy.
issues? I was gonna say,
yeah, superheroes going to see a
depressed
therapist.
superheroes.
So that's a funny show. But go to Crackle.com, check out The Tester. It is season 3, and her name is Sus Kaiden. She's a cute little Dominican chick. And like I said,
Thank you, girl. That was
and
very
it
nice
was
of
a
you.
great interview. And once again, post-podcast depression. Like, as soon as the podcast was over, it was so
It's like
exciting
your
and
baby,
happy.
Chris. You have your baby, and suddenly it's like, oh,
And then
I want more.
we did the podcast over Skype. So I'm recording Skype, and I originally make the connection through making it a video chat.
Yeah.
And so what comes up for her is like her stock profile photo. And she's like, I hope you don't mind, it's not going to be a video call because I just woke up. And I understand how women are, And I'm like,
It's not like the movies, guys. We don't wake up with a full face of makeup and our hair done. Sorry.
and me being a guy, of course I would like to have
Here
been
we
a video podcast, a video chat. But so
comes the
she could
restraining
see
order.
me, but I couldn't see her. So it was kind of interesting, like we do live
It's kind of awkward. Like, you probably forgot that she could see you, too, probably during it.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
oh, wait, yeah, hey.
I hope
Because you're
I
not
didn't, like-
seeing her,
I mean, it was a great interview, but I mean, like, what if things didn't go well and I'm like rolling my eyes?
I know, and you're like, oh, fuck this.
Now,
guy.
mind you, I'm recording in my uncle's house because I really couldn't record in my house because I had my daughter and my
Mm-hmm.
stepson and my mom and those
It would just
people
would have
don't
been,
shut
yeah.
up. So it would have been awesome, like my uncle walking in the background in his
Like underwear and be like,
that.
oh, I had no
'Cause
idea.
He's
at his house.
I used to live with him. That
He's
apartment,
doing the windmill with his penis.
we used
Like,
to
Chris,
be
look at this.
puppetry of the penis.
Uncle.
We call this one the bird bath. We call this one the hamburger.
The bat.
Yeah.
Uncle, I'm recording. Jeez.
So he's like, I'm trying to kick it to him. Uncle walks by in his tidy whities.
Oopsie.
But yeah, big shout out to Lisaret Suskaiden Vasquez. Lissarrette.
Q2RTV LMNOP.
Yeah.
Q-
Or Suskaiden. Suzkaiden. She's on Twitter.
Thank you very
And
much.
she's-
We appreciate that. Even though I wasn't there, Chris left me. He had to go to his
Yeah, I feel like-
lower Manhattan.
Because
I wouldn't have been able to get together anyways.
that's my fourth interview. You
And
know,
I've
we
been
did-
on what? How many?
You've never done an interview with me.
Exactly.
This is my first
That next one, if
female
we
interview.
do, we won't say the name yet.
No, I
or
can-
if we do that
I'm
one, I definitely
working-
want to be there.
I'm working on NBA great.
Michael Jordan. No.
Oh my God,
Shaquille O'Neal.
no, someone with a very very respectable career in the NBA, Mr. Jason Williams. Jason was actually babysat by my mom when he was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to.
Spank him.
But the big thing was because my mom used to watch him while his mom was at work.
Was he a tall baby? I wonder if he was like one of
my
those that
mom
were
said
kind of big
he
for
was
his
tall,
age, you know?
and he always scuffed up the knees on his pants. So like my mom said that
Because
like
he's 6'10" now.
she
I
would
mean,
put a patch on his pants and then he would wear through the patch.
I was gonna say that never happened. That so it's like don't even buy new pants.
so
Sort of
in the
thing.
picture, and I took pictures. It's on Facebook.
Did you put it on our Facebook page?
I didn't put it on the page. I just put it on my personal page because until I have a confirmation of him being on the show. But he
We don't need to put
came
you-
over to my mother's house, and the funny thing is, take a shot. I'm in my mom's bedroom changing my daughter's diaper, and then I hear my mother all excited, and my mom, she's high strung, but she doesn't get excited.
Woo, yeah.
And because she loved Jason Williams,
Probably like her
and-
own son. You
yeah,
know?
and that's the whole thing. Like my mom, during the visit and after the visit, was so happy, because
cute.
she raised him. She was, she didn't raise him, but
She watched
she was
him
there
as a kid,
watching
yeah.
him grow
Watched
up.
him
and,
grow
and
up.
she's very proud, and he has a very, very good career. First round draft pick, played on the 76ers. Unfortunately, he had a injury to his, I believe it was his knee or it was his knee or lower leg. I forgot exactly.
He
which
broke
one.
it, right?
And it was a career-ending injury. But he had, he
great
played
career
for
while it
St.
was.
John's. Such a nice guy. Picked up my daughter. He bonded with her. But I say, I say like a lot.
I think you said it 5 times in that one sentence.
So
That's gonna
I'm
be
a
the new
stuttering-
the new shot game. Every time
New
Chris
shot,
says,
yes, man.
Oh,
I'm a
trust me,
stuttering
I
prick.
have
I'm
that
sorry.
terrible habit as well. No, it's
I say
just-
I say so. Like when I'm doing an
You're
interview.
you're such a girl. like
Oh my god. I'm totally
Lord.
doing this interview now.
Yeah,
And I always go. So, I never know how to transition from their answer to the next question.
Yeah, there's that awkward
And
wait.
and I'm kind of nervous because I don't want the person I'm interviewing to be insulted or offended or
Right.
not that I'll say anything insulting, but
don't
I
want
want to
it.
make it comfortable for them.
Yeah.
But then I'm uncomfortable myself. I'm like, so next question.
Wasn't that one time you edited one of the episodes
when I
and it was
edited
10 minutes of editing?
Our episode with George Christic, great interview, our highest rated episode yet.
Woo!
And I edited out all my ums and ands.
And you're like,
and
it was
so's
10 minutes worth.
and I deleted 10 minutes worth of material from that episode.
That is
It's
too
sad.
funny. We all got our vices.
So, okay, and I'm going to bring it back a couple episodes. The 12-12-12 concert.
Oh, Mingya! I'm gonna get Italian on you now. You know what I heard? There was, they got the CD now coming out, and I was like, Chris, I'm gonna freaking get it for Chris.
And during the concert, I had tweeted and updated.
That doesn't sound like you.
I updated during the, I
Chris was that
easily
person
put out
of
a
the
couple,
day
like,
where when I logged on to Facebook, it was all him.
Chris,
For the past
Chris,
3 hours, it was like Chris.
And
I'm
now,
like, I wonder if he's watching the concert.
now that I see other people do it, I'm going to try to avoid doing that again.
It was just that one time.
Like I mentioned before, I love William Shatner. That motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, you were saying.
I mean, it may be his assistant, but I mean.
But it's coming up as
holy
William
shit.
Shatner.
Yeah, like, I'm actually getting tired of William Shatner. You know, like,
Nerds of the
goddamn, I
world.
was such a fan. Now I'm like, oh, shut the
Shut
fuck up.
up, Will.
And so, okay, I had made a comment at during the 12-12-12 concert because it was sponsored by Chase Bank. Mm-hmm. Oh, I said
About the
something to
loans
the effect
or,
that, yeah,
or
like,
mortgages. Or,
oh yeah, they'll come and help you out if your house is torn down, but heavens forbid you're like a month late on your mortgage. And I had said that kind of tongue in cheek. I really wasn't insulting Chase.
What? Did Chase come after you, Chris?
I got a tweet back from Chase.
Chris,
And now
they're outside the window right now with a sniper rifle.
When you tweet, it's your name. So the person's like, hello, Chris. This is Chase Customer Assistance. If you have any issues, please call this number. So I guess I know there are people who look up. I don't know if maybe they even get alert if they're mentioned on Twitter.
You know, there's like those Google alerts.
Like,
might be.
I think there's like a tweet alert.
Probably if their name's mentioned.
And corporations have it because I remember once a while back I made a comment about circumcision, and I had like this circumcision advocates group come write me back.
Awesome.
And so Chase. Okay, so that's a whole other issue. Because
sometimes when I was unemployed, I got really, and I still kind of am, of course, but I got like really into like the housewives, and I was like tweeting them like you're annoying and things like that, and then like one responded, and I was like, I was like, oh my god, like I got nervous as if something could happen. So I can only imagine like a corporation and be like, shit, delete my name. I got nervous like a housewife tweeted me back just because I said they were annoying.
So Chase Bank tweeted me back, hello Chris, using my fucking name.
Hello Christopher Cologne.
If you have any issues, please call this number.
What if it was like hello Christopher Cologne and then your address?
And, I've had accounts with Chase, and I've had people in the family that have worked for Chase for 30 years. I have friends now that work for Chase. I have friends that used to work for Chase. Okay, the 12-12 concert, they retweeted me the next day. Then I get a customer
if you have a problem,
person calls my phone.
Did you ever respond to when they were like, if you have a problem, call whatever number?
Because I made that joke about the mortgages, but I didn't have my mortgage through Chase when I did own my home.
So then the next day they call.
I get one of those like quality assistance, quality assurance phone calls.
Yeah.
And like, I'm taking a survey from Chase Bank and all that. Mind you,
Chris,
they're
after you.
Call me.
They are after you.
They hunted me down. I guess they probably see where I'm located and I mean, I do
they know that you're on this great podcast sending out negative things
I know.
that the world is hearing.
Well, I guess, they're I wasn't...
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of in-depth.
Yeah.
Like, for somebody making a joke.
retweet back, and then a quality assurance phone call on Saturday, a couple days later.
Let's do a test. Let's tweet. What should we put? What company?
Well, I know. I don't know. Well, now that you bring up tweeting as something I wanted to bring up.
What happened, Chris?
I think I figured out a way to drive up the ratings.
Do we discuss it on the show?
What was that?
Do we discuss it on the show?
Yeah, we discuss it.
Okay.
I think we need to start a Twitter war. We need to
start
a Twitter
war.
Like
Joan Rivers, she always has a Twitter war going on.
Now,
so we got to insult someone
without even warning them.
Bank.
Let's see if they listen to the show. We should just start talking shit about living lame.
Hey yo!
Like, what better controversy?
East Coast, West Coast, bitches.
They don't even know. Like,
they don't even know.
Don't even coordinate with them, and just start sending out a whole shitload of tweets.
Fuck you, Cordero.
It's in good fun. Just to maybe drive up the ratings.
No, it's a serious feud, Chris. With my air quotes.
Well, we'll see who's listening because if someone responds. Oh, you guys mentioned it on the January 1st episode. Then
bitches,
I can know they're really listening.
East Coast represent.
So I think we're going to start a Twitter war with
It's happening. See who wins this shit.
See who's really listening to the show. But yeah, I had tweeted. I mentioned him before. I forgot his first name. His last name is Merman. He does a voice on Bob's Burgers. And
Mr. Merman.
Mr. Merman. He just had a comedy special on. He just got his own comedy special on Comedy Central.
Oh, really?
I forgot his name. I know his last name is Merman.
Merman. How do you spell it? Merman.
I'm pretty sure it's Merman. And he's on Bob's Burgers.
M-E-R? Merman.
Yeah.
M-E-R.
He's on Bob's Burgers, and for anyone who's ever seen the show Delocated, it's on Adult Swim.
I've heard of it.
He's like the Russian
How about I look up Merman, and I just typed that in, and a bunch of images of mermaid men.
Merman.
Merman.
There was a character in the He-Man cartoon called Merman, but I believe there was a dash in the middle. So he does...
Merman is not who...
As a comedian, he is on Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast.
Okay.
But he's supposed to be the comic relief, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is supposed to be like, the science guy, the straight man. But I don't like Mr. Merman.
Why?
And because I don't find his comedy funny.
Merman is M-I-R-M-A-N.
Oh, I'm sorry. Eugene Merman. And in a fit of anger, I said, I hate it when you talk on the show.
You always gotta affect...
You don't, I said something like, you don't add anything to the show. You're annoying. You make me want to punch my radio. And then he writes back...
I hate everything you do, basically.
He just writes back, I'm sorry you don't like me.
So sorry, man.
And it was, so polite and nice that I felt
what else are you gonna say?
I
guess you could get involved in it. I still don't like him.
I still don't like
him,
but
I respect him.
But now he's not even on the show anymore.
Oh, it's because of you, Chris.
Because of me, I scared him off. No, there's a new guy in the show named Chuck Nice, and he's a comedian.
Oh yeah, I know him.
I love the '90s.
Yeah,
and
he's funny.
He was on a radio show in the 2000s called The Radio Chick, and it was in New York City. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was syndicated elsewhere, probably like other places closer to New York. I think like Boston and Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. But it was The Radio Chick, and it was Chuck Nice, Butch. There was a guy named Butch.
Loving it.
This white guy, bald head. Kind of looked like
somebody who looked like a Butch.
Looked like Joey Pantoliano.
Okay.
Kind of looked like him,
yeah.
but like with the mustache, like how Joe Pantoliano looked in like The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So Butch, and he was funny, and then the chick, kind of I shouldn't be insulted. Who the fuck am I to talk about good looks? But kind of like a butterface, but she had the hugest knockers, and so
it doesn't matter what her face looks like,
and she's of the chosen people, and she had a big fucking nose, and. And and I hope I'm not offending anybody when I say that.
You're just on a
you're gonna laugh.
Offending streak right now.
I had called their show, and it was a relationship question, and
it was like Loveline.
It was
like a love line.
It was called Chick on Chicks because her radio name was The Radio Chick.
Okay,
so she had a segment called The Chick on Chicks where you could call and ask relationship advice, and it was all guys calling. So. In response to me calling, they go, as a promotion that they were doing, they took down my name and address, and they sent me a pocket pussy.
Nice!
They sent me, it was like this little
That's a nice little giveaway.
Sleeve, because they were promoting...
Nice blue sleeve.
I want to say it was AdamandEve.com. I mean, I know I mentioned we may soon be having them as a sponsor. I think we have to restructure our site.
We're having Adam and Eve sponsor?
All
right.
The whole
Chris,
thing,
what'd you do? Spend so much money
I've
there?
I've been doing my homework, but basically how it works is if the people visit our site and click their banner, then we get a piece of the action.
You just want another pocket pussy. You must have worked the other one off.
I want to have a reason to talk about pocket pussies other than this show about the Radio Chick and Chuck Nice. And
had a nice blue sleeve.
And speaking of sponsors,
soon turned white. Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hello, listeners. This is Chris from Two Strangers, One Podcast. But I'd like to announce that we are now part of Livin' Lane Podcast Entertainment. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Livin' Lane Podcast Entertainment. LIVINLAME Podcast Entertainment. Along with Two Strangers, One Podcast, there are a bunch of brand new shows to choose from. There's The Breakdown with Filthy Phil, Shane O'Mac, and Cord bringing you the latest news in the music world. Join Joe and Carrie Fox in the Fox Den for your fix of astrology, numerology, and nature. Get your movie and television news with the Real Chat Podcast. And the big daddy that started it all, Livin' Lane. So check out the Facebook for information on new episodes and updates at www.facebook.com/Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment. Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
We now return to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
And we're back. So, like we were speaking about sponsors, who knows, very soon we may have Adam and Eve.
Moving on up.
But they sent me a pocket pussy. Chuck
That was
Nice.
very nice of them.
So how I can
Chuck
bring
Nice
it all
sent
around.
me a pocket
Chuck
pussy.
Nice of the Neil.
You should tweet him that, Chuck. I still have that
Talk
pocket pussy you gave me.
Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast, and formerly of the Radio Chick. I don't think the Radio Chick is still on. I think if she was, he would be on the show.
Yeah.
I just think she's probably just not doing radio anymore. And it was, so they sent me a pocket pussy.
That's awesome. Nice little giveaways.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Now, are you familiar with... This happened like a couple weeks ago, but we were on our little hiatus because of the holidays, and I was like, I gotta write this down. Mm-hmm. So I ended up writing it down. Do you know any UFC fighters? I don't know if you ever watched that crap.
I mean, I know, like, the big ones, like Chuck Liddell.
Right, the big names, yeah. That's pretty much all I know. Well, there's one named Ray Elbe, E-L-B-E. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it's pronounced. Well, he broke his penis. Now, you would think it was because of the fight. No. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend was riding him very hard.
And broke his penis.
And it bent. And the pain was so excruciating, he passed out. And
this is an extreme fighter. This is
exactly.
Ultimate
fighter. And so he had to go to the hospital. And they ended up fixing it, and it should work eventually. But how bad is that? I've heard of incidences.
Because, the tissue gets rigid when it gets filled with fluid, with blood. And technically, you can break the penis, but how awesome was she fucking riding
exactly.
that cock? I
mean, she must have been...
I mean, I don't want to talk shit, because that's a UFC fighter's girlfriend.
But she's got to have some strength in there.
More power.
She does
to
those
him,
Kegel balls, probably. She's got a power pussy.
Riding him like a fucking horse,
She's got a power pussy.
Oh my god!
Now there's this.
And she's probably fit because I mean these guys,
sure.
they work.
She's
out,
probably a UFC fighter.
She's probably she's probably in very well.
She probably clenched that thing and did not let it go. Twisted. Now there's this story I heard.
Strong thigh muscle probably wrapped around. Oh my god!
She does those Kegel balls.
I'd be more than please. I would love to find a woman to come and break.
Now I was at work when I heard this story, so I told my partner that day. And he's like, you don't even know what happened around the corner from here, where we were. I was like, okay, what? He's like, well, we got this call, this 911 call, like, it just came in, it came in as person with extreme injury. Mm-hmm. That's what it came in as, so they go to the house. Mm-hmm. There's blood all up on the wall. It looked like a murder scene. Mm-hmm. Blood all up on the wall, woman still in doggy position, blood all on her butt, in the back of her head, and blood all on the thing, and the guy's holding his penis. He took,
Viagra, Cialis?
Not Cialis, that one. He took that, and they were riding, doing doggy style, and I guess he came out too quick and jammed it in her butt cheek, and then it bent, and it split open. And it was just, since all that blood's there, it just kind of, splurted.
Oh, wow.
And he had to, hold it the whole way there. But it was okay. He ended up where, he had surgery and it still works. Mm-hmm. But I guess later they saw, the woman, the wife showed up at the hospital and she still had like blood in the back of her head and on like the back of her legs, and they're like, oh, like the nurses thought like maybe she had her period or something. They're like, no, it's from his penis. And then I guess they saw him later on and they're like, hey, like, thanks guys for taking me to the hospital, whatever. And they're like, who are you? He's like, and I'm the guy. He like puts his guy. And they're like, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, yeah, full recovery, can use it, whatever. But my wife's a little apprehensive about sex now. I'm like, no shit, she's got blood all up on her. How awful.
He fucked her well.
He clearly went out too. They're easily not doing that position anymore.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It's a bit by Eddie Murphy that says,
break a penis.
If a guy can make a woman come real hard, like that's it. Like he can get away with murder. Because
he did it. He
always want to come back to that. So that's like this guy is if you're not if you're not holding it down, get your shit in order and hit it right. Because then they'll come back.
And if you break your penis in the process, it's okay. UFC fighters do it too.
Yeah, that's.
She's got to have some strong muscles there going on.
Now this reminds me of a story, and basically, let's put it like this: friends of mine who are married.
The story is really about Chris.
They have an excellent relationship. That being said, my friend, who before this relationship was the biggest man slut on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And now what had happened was we were talking about old times, and his wife goes, now mind you, I keep my mouth shut because I'm not going to bring up his
So
stories.
she didn't know his past.
No, that's so what happened was I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to bring it up in front of his wife. So then he goes, oh yeah, that's when such and such happened, and something that most girls would be repulsed by, but guys would high-five him for.
The usual.
So his wife goes, oh no, I know he was a slut. I knew he was a slut. But now they have a happy marriage because he fucked everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's already been there, done that. He has nothing to look forward to. Yeah. So ladies, it's better to you got it out of his system early. He's done it.
If you like a guy,
let him be a slut for a little bit. He'll come back to you.
Get him laid by other girls. I know it's going to hurt you. That's why don't get involved emotionally at first. If you like a guy and you think you get involved,
let him come back to you.
Arrange a couple threesomes.
Oh Jesus!
Find some other girls to fuck him. Let him get it out of the system. So then when he's with you.
Yeah, when we follow this advice.
He's had all those crazy wild stories and fucking people in...
What if he gets addicted to it?
In bar bathrooms and three-ways and all types of skanky, getting nasty stank on his hang low. So you let your man be a little promiscuous and let him get it out of his system, you'll have a loyal man. I'm telling you, ladies, you heard it here now.
Love advice from Mr. Chris.
Yeah, I promise you want a good relationship, let your man screw around. Let your man screw around. Let him get it out of his system. Hopefully, by the time you're hearing this advice, it's not too late. It'll be a guy that you just meet. If it's a guy you've been with, and of course you're emotionally involved. You're emotionally involved. You're not going to let your guy go now. But if you meet a new guy that you like, get him laid elsewhere.
Well, honey, Chris said you can go out and be a slut for a little while, and then you come back.
Yeah,
that's what's going to
happen. Once he gets it out of his system, once he has all those crazy,
no, he's going to come back with a freaking dirty ass dick, and then she gets it.
You can have some nice skanky sex. I mean, you can tell them to be protected.
Yeah, but there's going to be something. Somebody got too drunk.
You got that one slut friend.
Oh yeah.
Tell that one slut friend to fuck your man. Or
that's
fuck,
nice.
Before he becomes your man, though. That's all. And I know you women are fucking schemers and planners. So before
that's
you get involved with him,
talk.
Get him laid a couple times. Let him fuck your crazy friend. Let your crazy friend get him involved in a threesome or something like that. So then when he gets with you, he's calm. He's got all of his nut out of him. He doesn't have that. Because a lot of guys, when they go through their midlife crisis, it's like, they always have that what if I had a threesome? What if I fucked a stranger in a bar bathroom?
What if you guys were just faithful? What about that?
We are, but it's when you see the grim specter of death down the end of the tunnel, you're like, shit, I wanted to live my life.
You losers. You're all a bunch of losers.
No, that's what I'm saying. Before you get involved, some guys need dirty, nasty sex.
And then that's when I hope
And
they
then-
get some disease and their wiener falls off.
After they have the dirty, nasty sex, because there are always going to be sluts out there. Let him fuck the sluts, and then he can come back and he'll be good with
What
you.
if he's like, oh, I missed the slut sex?
Nah,
Nah.
not if you had it done right.
I don't know, Chris. All right, ladies, you follow Chris's advice. See what happens.
Follow my advice. I
We want
guarantee it's gonna
updates
work.
on if it works.
Now, okay,
Yeah,
this is in my this is in my notes.
slut sex.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, not sluts, but do you know? Okay, the girls out there who will give blowjobs and anal because they
But not-
want to save their vaginas.
I went to school with a girl. Basically, that's what she did. She only did anal, and I was like, I mean, I don't know what. Oh, she would want to prevent pregnancy, basically. But it was like that was her big thing. I mean, she did it all throughout college. They ended up getting married, so I'm sure they're but I know it's all throughout college. It was strictly anal, and I don't get it.
These girls didn't exist when I was growing up.
I don't get it.
wish I knew girls that like said, "Oh, I'm only doing
I'm only doing blowjobs and anal, so
because because you're not gonna hear any complaints from me. You
of
you're
course
not-
there's no complaints from the guy.
You know,
They get off.
but
A hole's a hole to them.
these girls weren't in my generation.
Yeah, I don't know where where the thought came from.
It's a relatively new one because
Yeah, I just knew that one girl, and I think that her whole thing was she didn't want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
But now I think there's that whole generation now where it's,
yeah, I mean,
well, if I do it this way,
with
it's technically
syphilis
I'm
on
still...
the rise. I mean, you can still transmit diseases, but
Right. If I do it this way and this way, I'm not going to get pregnant and I'm still a virgin. Like, I'm sure there's that thought.
Yeah, I
It's
was
like,
listening
bitch, you're
to,
a hoe.
You know, they talk about it on the radio and they talk about it on other podcasts, and it's like it's on the rise. The girls with the mentality that they'll save their vagina for their husband or the guy that they really, really love, but
Because it's so
blow them
sacred.
and give anal for.
Bitch,
Who are
it's
these
a
girls?
contradiction.
Where are they?
Yeah. Well, it's just like a few years ago, like the high school, even the middle school, I think it went to. All the girls had like different colored bracelets.
Yeah.
And they all meant something.
Yeah,
like,
like a brown
how
bracelet
many,
means you
how
gave
many
a-
blowjobs you gave, or like weird shit like that. Like, we didn't do that. And the only scandalous thing that we really had in high school was in 8th grade, a friend of ours had sex.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just really young to have sex to us. And now I guess like 6th grade is the new normal. But like that was really the only scandalous thing. We didn't have blowjob parties.
Yeah, rainbow
Our parties
parties.
our parties consist of, ooh, we gotta find beer. Like that was our main mission. And then if you made out with a guy, it was a big deal. But it wasn't like, you guys, I'm having a blowjob party, everybody come over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now they all have like those
Everybody
bracelet
bring their
parties.
shades of lipstick and
another
rainbow
big
party
thing
to get,
now
like,
is,
different colored lipsticks on your dick. So.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And another thing
Where are
is
these parties?
Where
are these girls?
What's the other thing? Oh, like they call them, I forget what they call them, but it's like pharmaceutical parties where everybody brings whatever prescription drug you can find at your house. Everybody puts one in a bowl and then mixed around, and then everybody takes one. So you have no fucking idea what you're
Rat
taking.
bag of.
I would just bring like a birth control pill and be like, you guys have no idea the fun you're gonna have with that. Like,
Unless
how
the guy
unsafe
takes
is
it.
that? And I just read, I don't know where these kids are really getting all that, like who came up with the bracelets idea? Who came up with the rainbow like, where are you getting that from? And now I read today, this is new to me, I've never heard of this. In Detroit, I guess doctors have found an increase, that teens are doing this salt and ice challenge. Do you have any idea what that is?
Salt and ice. I know ice. I mean, salt melts the ice, and I guess if you're melting, and then once the salt it refreezes.
Yeah, I've never heard of this, so I had to read
Salt
it.
and ice, okay.
Because I was like, what the fuck? What are teens doing now? So you put table salt on your arm. It's basically a game of chicken. You put table salt on your arm, or on your skin, so on your arm. Then you put an ice cube on top of it, and you see you can hold it there as long as possible. And what it does is it burns your skin. You can get up to like 3rd-degree burns because the salt brings the temperature of the ice like down to freezing. And then it gets really cold and it literally burns your skin. And they say it's worse than like frostbite.
It's like freezer burn.
Yeah.
You're getting
And there's-
freezer burn on your skin.
They say it's worse than, so it makes the ice really cold, and they say it's worse than like frostbite. And some people have come in with 3rd-degree burns. So this is the new trend going on in Detroit.
Well,
what the fuck?
Well, I mean, it reminds me of two stories. One,
Chris has done this.
when I used to work in a check cashing place, and we used to have those air duster things that, you know,
Oh, yeah, people
blows
huff
the dust
that
out
now.
of the air, and people huff it. But if you hold it upside down and spray it, the actual liquid comes out. And the liquid is, I don't know if you ever noticed, the can gets cold when you spray it.
Yeah.
If you hold the and there's warnings all over the can not to do this.
So
you
Chris
hold
does
it upside down.
So you hold upside down and spray it.
If you like any of the Jackass movies, you know, like when they sneak up on somebody and like shave their head, like
Yeah.
shave like a bit of their head. We would wait till someone's not paying attention and spray it upside down on their arm.
Did it burn?
And my friend, and I know people are going to probably correct me on the pronouncing. His name was Mario. In New York City,
Mario?
we say Mario.
You mean Mario, right?
A friend of mine named Mario. My brother sprayed, because I worked with my brother for a little. My brother sprayed him for a while because Mario was like, he was a freaky kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think he liked the pain, but his
burned?
skin, a perfect circle, first turned into like a black blister on his arm, and he stood there and took it. Mario was a
He might like these teens in Detroit then. Or the teens might want to get a hold of this.
Because he invented all these games. That's why. And when you're not paying attention, you would take a stapler. When you open the stapler, when it's all the way open, like if you're going to staple something on like
and what'd you do, staple him?
And staples people in the arms and stuff like that. He used to do it to us. We used to do it to him.
He must
but
be
when
that
we did it to him,
sadist.
he didn't react. And let me tell you, if you're swinging it hard enough to get the
you
staple
can
out,
get a...
that's a metal fucking rod. That's a metal piece you're hitting somebody with. So
Mario might want to hang out with, go to Detroit and hang out with these teens and do a little, salt and ice challenges.
But also...
What the F?
I mean, okay, well, by the time people hear this, it's already past New Year's Eve, but...
Happy New Year.
If you have a lot of... usually it's for beer, but you can use it for you can use it for soda. You know, now that I'm sober, I'm going to bring it up just for soda. If you have a lot of stuff that needs to be cooled quick, you get a bunch of ice. You put your cans and bottles in a sink or a tub.
Yeah.
And you could get like that rock salt, like the same stuff you sprinkle on your sidewalk. You put rock salt, ice, and water all together with the ice melting. It gets real cold, and it's kind of like quickly makes your drinks cold. So if you have a bunch of bottles and ice,
you got to get them cold quick.
So if you want to make a party real quick, now I'm not saying this about beer. I'm saying about soda.
Any drink.
You could put a bunch of bottles and cans in a sink.
Because we used to do that for like college parties. Like if we had abundant stuff, just like throw a bunch of ice in the tub and throw everything in there, which is really gross. But yeah, if you do a whole thing like that,
and I mean, I don't know where you live, but like here in Rochester, you have rock salt.
Oh yeah,
you have rock salt sitting somewhere by your.
We put
door.
like leftovers outside our door. We have the outdoor cooler, we like to call it. I'm like, Dad, we got put in the fridge. No, it's right outside the door. It's fine. There's snow around it. That's not.
Well, I mean,
that's not
about the rock salt. Has, so
we got rock salt everywhere.
If you're in a place and you have access to ice and rock salt, which you should have rock salt anyway and ice. Even if you feel
some rock salt. Well, I think it's a certain kind, but like melts the ice.
Yeah, no,
I've had that.
But I believe it's the one that don't get the pellets. The little round pellets, I think, don't work. The ones that actually like big hunks of crystal,
right? And some are like blue.
That's the one that works. Yeah. There's a little advice from your friends at Two Strangers One Podcast. You have a lot of soft drinks that need to be.
There you go. Then for your pizza pop and parents party, there it is. The triple P.
Pizza pop and parents.
The triple P. Your ice cream social.
There's my daughter. My daughter needs a diaper change. We got a couple more minutes. We mentioned it in the other episode. I got to see the Anne Hathaway crotch shot. Anne Hathaway getting out of the limo.
Because I brought that up, right?
She was wearing a very tight dress.
Yeah.
At a premiere, the paparazzi
so they had
literally being up her ass or being up her pussy.
I mean, I don't blame her at all. Absolutely not. That's totally them being invasive.
Yeah,
back the fuck away. You know?
She wasn't,
it wasn't like, hey. Like back when, like, Paris Hilton had, like, her crotch out. Lindsay Lohan. Like, when their straight up legs are out.
Yeah. But I got a chance to see.
Was it nice? Was it everything you wanted it to be?
It's cute.
It's a cute little pussy.
Let me tell you.
I like her. And I wouldn't expect a bad pussy.
I mean, not that I'm like some big whore master, but
you pretty much are.
I've never seen an ugly pussy.
What about China?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it had
a dick, Chris.
It's not ugly.
It had a dick. It's not ugly.
It's not
Chris,
ugly.
there was
It's
a dick
just
on it. It's just big.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lover of
Yeah.
pussy. That even if you got a giant clit.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I
Vagina.
embrace my
Pussy's coming all shapes
my
and
sexuality.
sizes.
I embrace all sexuality.
Oh,
There's very
Lordy.
little.
Where is this gone?
Okay. Now I've been talking a lot about
Pussy.
Megas XLR.
No, I haven't heard you mention it once, Chris.
Now,
Not one. Here he goes.
now that I'm actually friends with all the guys
After the
online on
interview,
Facebook, and
Cool.
the show creator, not the guy I interviewed, the other guy, Jody Schaefer, is a homosexual.
Right, I remember you saying that.
And, it's funny, not that, it's an issue, it's not. It's one of those things where, like, I didn't know until I see his personal
photos.
politics and he had posted something and, like, I guess someone who was obviously a friend of his said faggot. And he goes,
Oh, okay, so it wasn't joking,
you bet it, yeah. And, and once again, I embrace that.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's so cool that I liked his work before, what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, some people, unfortunately, some people in the guise
they
of being
find out,
open-minded
yeah.
like shit just because of the person's politics. No,
Yeah.
I liked the show way before. Now I find out he's gay. And it's kind of like, Rob Halford, saying like Rob Halford, a heavy metal singer, he was,
He became the
he's
female
homosexual.
now? Yeah. Right? That's
No,
the one
no.
that dresses as a female?
No.
Who's that?
In the 80s,
There's one recently who... We were talking about Christmas Eve, and it's some group, I don't know. Kelly knows. They were talking about it.
oh, I don't know.
Where he's the lead singer. I don't know the band. I'm not even
Dresses
going
like a
to
woman.
pretend like I know the band.
Well, it's like, I mean...
Where he dresses as a female now.
Well, like Rob Halford in the early 80s used to come out in all this crazy leather gear, which was... The metalheads thought he was coming out trying to be badass.
But
he
really?
came out in that leather gear, kind of like the leather gay sex scene,
Yeah.
the bear sex scene, and all that, all those
Sexy
little
bears.
subdivisions. He was coming out dressed as like a leather daddy, which is what they call him. He was coming out like a leather daddy. Now the metalheads
Thought he was
are
a
so much metal,
badass.
like, oh, that's badass, that's rock and roll, like. And
The
no,
homosexuals
he's
are like, yeah, leather daddy.
He's a
That's
leather
the both
daddy.
worlds. You had the metals and the
Yeah, so
homosexuals there.
It's pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not homosexual, but if I was, I probably would be a leather daddy. I mean, I got a biker jacket.
There
I'd
you
be
go,
a bear.
Chris.
I'd be a
glad.
bear leather
I'm glad
daddy.
you embraced your homosexual
I embrace
side.
it.
if you
I mean,
were.
I guess maybe I haven't met the right man yet,
Maybe that's it. Maybe once they come along,
but,
you could be that.
and
leather
no
daddy.
disrespect to Jody Schaefer, But if he wants to give
I'm
me a
not
call.
offended. Yeah, if he wants to give me a call, that could be your right guy.
No, I love the pussy. But if I was gay, and I embrace that, and like, like the directors of the Matrix that I mentioned in another episode. Before they were Larry and Andy, now it's Lana and Andy.
I was gonna say like Larry and
he
Sandy.
I believe he's 100% a woman now, but like, he looks kind of rough. But I mean, if he's happy,
Absolutely.
I mean, I haven't got a chance to see Cloud Atlas. I want to see it because that's the most
That's the-
recent movie.
yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Speed Racer, but I love the Matrix movies, especially the first. The first one is like revolutionary. 2 and 3 a little bit of a letdown, but and there's talks about bringing back the Matrix. Like Keanu Reeves.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Keanu needs work.
I think he's gonna do like Bill and Ted and then the Matrix.
Yeah, that's right. Bill and Ted.
So
And then the
the
Matrix.
nerdy, happy part of me is actually looking forward to it. I know a lot of people want to dog it real quick, and I'm excited. Yeah, Bill and Ted and another Matrix. You got my money. But I just, like I said, I haven't had a chance to see Cloud Atlas. I want to. I'm pretty sure it'll fall off a truck real soon.
Into Chris's hands.
The Two Strangers One podcast curse strikes again. A couple episodes ago,
Yeah, we
I was
do.
bringing up. I'm planning on some sort of event
Oh yeah.
that's going to happen June 15th. Right now, it is still in talks. I'm still arranging things. I'm already arranging some music. The place, now just the other episode, just
We did
2
just
episodes
mention
ago, or an episode
We mentioned
ago.
it, and then Chris texted me like 2 days later. The curse struck again.
I had mentioned our friend Law Torello, who
Owns this
was
space.
owning this place called The Space.
Notice how he said
And
was.
because literally, like, after we recorded that episode, he posts up on Facebook, we're having a takedown party, meaning because he has equipment in there, and I think like soundproofing boards and stuff like that. So he was asking people to help him move equipment from the old space to allegedly a new space.
So
And I don't
it's
wanna say
still
allegedly,
open.
I mean,
It's just
because I sent him a message like, "Yo, where's the new space?" And he said, "I'll get back to you," because he's busy right now. And I even offered. I said, even before his days of planning, I said, "Look, because I know he has a son. I'm like, look, I'm assuming, and forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming his wife babysits the kid, like after work or whatever. Like I'm assuming. So I said, look, if you can arrange a babysitter for my daughter, as in my daughter and your son can hang out. I don't know if they're being watched by your wife or mother or whatever." If you can arrange some sort of babysitting, I got your back. I'll help you take stuff down. We can use my truck and everything like that. But he never got back to me. So the curse strikes again.
we closed down a whole establishment.
I mentioned Law's Place, and they shut
the
down.
space.
It was called the
shut
Space.
it down.
Hopefully, it's moving
there should
to
be a
another
new
spot.
space. Yes.
I definitely want to check it out. I certainly hope it's an area that we can get people to show up to, and it's, right now I'm planning, like, maybe, having a band, having us doing a podcast, seeing if we get other people if they want to come and do the podcast, or get guests and stuff like that. I would like it to be Comic-Con themed. I guess I'm going to have to start going around to comic book places or something. Like, I don't know, just like if I could, get one place to say, look, bring a table, bring a bunch of long boxes.
There's a good amount of comic places around here.
Yeah, and
comic book places.
I would do what I can to get people there and say, look, just set up a booth. I just want you there selling comics. I want comics there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how, my job is to get people in the door.
Right.
So that's what I have in my mind right now. And I do have a projector. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, like, maybe bringing my projector and, like, either, like, A, playing, like, crazy movies on a wall, or B, I mean, I would need someone to be, like, dedicated to this, maybe hooking up and bringing, like, my PlayStation so people could play video games on a projector
that'd be
on a
cool.
wall.
People busy with that.
Yeah. So video games projected on a big fucking wall.
You can have a little tournament.
Comic book
You
booth.
can have tournaments with that. That'd be cool.
I'm working on getting music, So StrangerCon is
in the works, coming in the summer, baby.
But we killed the first location. But
we killed it.
The good thing is that when we have a curse on somebody, usually they do much better later.
Yes.
So it's a law. I'm sorry about the space, but
things are gonna go up from here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
it's a
swinging of the pendulum.
Who else can we curse?
Yeah, it seems that the stuff that. It never happens to who we want. It's
That's what I'm
we
saying.
Talk nice about
we're waiting
gets cursed, but then they get blessed afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
it's a blessing in disguise. Don't worry.
You got something good coming. All right, so we'll pass the hour mark.
Get it, Chris.
Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.com, where you can find links for everything show related. First and foremost, you can visit our eBay page, where I'm selling comic books, heavy metal, memorabilia, and video games. If you like it, buy it. If you want to support the show, buy it. I got DVDs just for $1. Everything goes to support the show, helps advertising, helps pay for the hosting sites. Right now we're having equipment problems. Hopefully we're going to start a Kickstarter real soon. So like I said, even if you don't want it, I mean, the holiday season's over, buy something. If you miss somebody, buy a DVD and give it to them. Say, hey, Merry belated Christmas, or belated Hanukkah, or belated Kwanzaa, or Ramadan, or Festivus, or Christmas Kwanzaa, or whatever the hell you celebrate. Buy something. All the money goes to support the show, and we really appreciate it. If you want to download episodes of Two Strangers One Podcast, you can first and foremost download them off our website, twostrangersonepodcast.com. All the episodes are there. Just look at the show description. You'll find the link to download. So even if you have like a cheapy MP3 player, I mean, even the most basic cheapy, even, what's the word I'm looking for? Prepaid phones now play MP3s. So you can download our shows, put them on your phone, even if you have like a little $10 MP3 player, and you can listen to them while you're on your way to work, while you're sitting in traffic, and you're like, oh, I'm tired of this bullshit. It's snowing. No one knows how to fucking drive. Listen to us. Put us up on the podcast. Hook us up. If you have an iPhone, iPad mini, iPod, you can find us on iTunes. Just go to the iTunes store. In the upper right corner, click podcast and search Two Strangers One Podcast. The name's going to come up, Chris and Kristen, Two Strangers One Podcast. You'll see our beautiful red, white, and blue logo that looks like the bathroom sign. You can subscribe, and from there you can download all our episodes. And the cool thing about the iPad, iPod is that, you know, when you pause the show, when you come back, it'll leave you right where you left off. So when you're like, oh, I got to work, I can't, you know, then when you get out of work, you come back and listen to us talking about Lindsay Lohan or something like that. If you have an Android device, and this is what I use, you can download the Stitcher app, STITCHER. The Stitcher people, every interaction that I've had with them has been super cool. They are all awesome. They address issues very, very quickly. And pretty much every podcast that's worth listening to is on Stitcher. My two personal favorites, Kevin Smith and his Smodcast, Chris Hardwick and The Nerdist, and the other top-rated podcasts, the WTVF podcast with Mark Maron, the Adam Carolla podcast. Anything worth listening to is on the Stitcher, including our brothers on the West Coast, Livin' Lame, LIVIN, and we are part of the Livin' Lame network, and guys, better brace yourselves because we're going to start a Twitter war, and you have no idea it's coming.
Fuck you, Cordero.
But it's to get everyone's ratings up, okay?
I know.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
Sorry I said that.
And so, Livin' Lame, the other shows on Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment, you go to facebook.com/Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment and find the links to all the other shows, the Fox Den, Real Chat, The Breakdown. You can subscribe to all these shows. You can follow them also on the Stitcher app or on iTunes. And you can find us on facebook.com/2strangers1podcast. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button. Hover over the like button, click show and news feed. If you like this episode, you like any episode, share it on your Facebook page. Share the whole page on your Facebook page. Say, these guys are funny, you should check them out. We want to thank everybody. We've been getting a lot of love. We've been getting a bit of exposure. The show we're working on it, but for the people that have been showing their support and saying, it's a funny show and this and that, thank you guys very, very much. I really, really like it. It's really encouraging, and it's nothing if there's no one there to listen to to it. So, we certainly hope you enjoyed listening as we had recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristen.
Don't be a stranger.
See ya. Bye.
And now?
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Fucking, are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
yeah,
man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could saw them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.